In today's operation, we are conducting a rapid town assault with the main goal of penetrating the enemy's defensive lines. Our main fighting force is going to be a platoon of M2 Bradleys, a platoon of M1 Abrams tanks, and a small platoon of M3 combat fighting vehicles. These are our recon units only. We do have a Cobra gunship on standby, and we do have 2 target reference points for our dual-purpose improvised cluster munitions. Our M1 Abrams tanks are not authorized to use their main guns at this time, and when we get into position of our hold line, we will be within danger close range of these dual-purpose improvised cluster munitions. Our main goal is to travel along this avenue right here in a fast movement, at which point we'll penetrate the objective, move to the exterior portion of the town, and then move on to other objectives. This scenario is based off of a few things I've read on the war in the Middle East, and it's kind of a recreation of that. So without further ado, we're going to dive right on into this. We're going to hit start. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure if our gunship will arrive on station in a normal amount of time, 2 minutes. I believe a 2-minute arrival time is quite ready. Our dual-purpose improvised cluster munitions are ready as well, and our M2 Brownleys are slowly moving out. They may be on station in around 2 minutes. We're going to kind of let everyone work their way through this traffic jam. We are launching this at this moment in time. And then it looks like we do have unknown troops, and it looks like I believe those are mortar teams. So the enemy's fighting force consists of more of an asymmetric group. So we have Sager missiles, RPG-7s, mortars, all kinds of other weapon systems. They are locked to their positions, and we are engaging them at this moment in time. That does look to be a mortar system, or it could be a Sager as well. There are heavy weapons teams as well, such as machine guns, things along those lines. So we are kind of engaging those units. I am going to pull these units back. I'm going to change their SOPs to effective range. I don't want anyone picking a fight where they don't need to be picking a fight at this moment in time. So let's just change everyone to effective range. I don't want them to run out of lots and lots of ammo, but they are saturating that area. I kind of want to switch them to a hold fire, but they are shutting down that mortar team, and hopefully they are being dealt with as well. Our M2, I would like for our tanks to kind of take over this fight and not so much our Bradleys. I don't want to get bogged down in a street fight at this moment in time. Our helicopter is going to be on station here in a moment, and it does look like we do have identifiers of combat breaking out over here as well. So we are going to stand by for a few more moments. We are fully into this fight, and we're just going to keep having it. We could, I believe, call in a mortar strike over here if we really wanted to. And depending on these guys are taking a little bit of damage. I would like for them to focus their direction elsewhere, but we'll see that here in a moment. Let's see if we can put them on a hold fire for 30 seconds. And so we stop engaging that unit at this moment in time. I think that's pretty far out there. We are wasting a lot of ammo, and this fight is just kind of kicking off. As you see, we do have what looks to be a heavy weapons team right there. So we're going to switch that. That's a new target we actually need to engage. So hopefully we can switch that to soft target effective range, and they can kind of adjust their fire right now. Our chopper should be moving into position right now. Yep. Our choppers are moving across the battlefield. There should be no anti-air threat within this area at all. Everyone is moving into position. It's all going according to plan at this moment in time. I would like for these units to continue moving, but I'm confused as to why they are stopped. There we go. We're back on the path. I guess that fighting really caused a lot of issues. Gunships in position, heavy weapons team in position. Nothing should really do too much damage. Once our recon team's on station, we are going to drop some clusters. So let's do that. That's fire mission 1. Let's let it fly. Fire all. All right, they're just outside of that position. We're not quite danger close, but let's see what happens. The gunfight's going a little bit interesting. All right, RPG team has been dealt with. Cluster munitions should be on their way. We're a little bogged down, but we only move so fast. We're still attempting to engage that mortar team. That helicopter is doing absolutely phenomenal. And these DPICM should be doing good soon here in a moment. Fire all. Fire all. I want mission 1 to go. All right, everyone should be firing for effect. Let's see what's going on with that. They engage. Looks like they just. Nope, that's our. This looks to be our. Where are these guys at? Our AH3 Cobras, kind of engaging them with the small arms. These guys are heavily built in there, but we know that a lot of these units do have a lot of fire. Fire for effect, no spotter. Unfortunately, our recon unit is not quite into position, so let's go. Recon units authorized to move. All units are authorized to move. We're going to enable main cannon fire here in a moment. All right, once everyone starts moving out, ooh, look at that. Lots and lots of hate raining down on this position. Ooh. Not a good time to be a mortar team, that's for sure. They still see them on their thermal imaging, which is why they're still being engaged. So hopefully we can maybe get some firing for effect to go, but it keeps telling me I don't have a spotter, which is unfortunate. I thought my recon team could do that spotting for us, but it's just not something that's going to happen. That's just a bad order of battle, so that's my fault. So unfortunately, we have no DPICM on this mission. All right, recon team is moving into position. Everyone should be moving fairly slowly. We could adjust these to fast movements if we really wanted to, and our first vehicle has been destroyed. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull it to a halt. I wonder what that was. That must have been like an RPG-7 team. Oh, right there. Looks like an RPG team. All right, the RPG team has been dealt with. Recon is still moving into position, so this is a bit tense right now. These guys are moving very slowly. I'm going to actually switch them to a fast movement because they're falling very far behind. So if we delete all waypoints and transition them to fast, it'll take 30 seconds, but it's going to go much smoother. We really need to get everyone together. Our recon team is doing absolutely phenomenal. They've mostly broken through. We're going to keep this helicopter in position, but right now he's a bit on his own. These M1s are kind of lost right now. It looks like they've kind of just going a little wild. So let's delete all their waypoints as well and kind of get them moving fast too. Right now, our recon team is way up there, basically through the enemy lines, doing all the reconnaissance needed to be done. Little bum we didn't get to see our DPICM in action. Looks like they're under heavy fire now. They are not immobile. Remember, we don't want to get bogged down in a street fight. Our chopper gunners are doing a fantastic job. I'm interested to know what took this Bradley out. It must have been the Sager team. He's basically through the town. We don't want him to stop. And if we're laying hate, then I'm going to keep laying hate. All right, our next Bradleys are moving through. And then once they're on their way, we will see some more action. No damage. He is taking lots of fire. What would be awesome would be this DPICM, which is unfortunately we did it wrong. If not, that would do a lot. That would handle a lot of this. I wish these movements were a bit smoother, but it is what it is. All right, next movement is up. So I wonder if these helicopters, oh, he's been immobilized. All right, second IFV down. And a lot of that's just due to the breakup right now and the failure of these DPICMs, but we do have a lot of firepower. So these helos, I believe, shouldn't be running out of ammo quite yet. We could move them to their second battle position. If we wanted to, so if we really wanted to move them to their next battle position, that's something we could do right now. Yep, so they're going to move to that secondary battle position. We're going to keep punching through this town. I'm going to keep moving quickly. Things are going to speed up here in a moment. Unfortunately, the scout team is dismounted. We're going to see if we can get them moving to the objective as well, possibly pick them up. So 2 Bradleys down. They are taking fire, but we can get them into a good little position. Let's see if we can get them behind this village. 2 minutes, that's going to be quite a long time. It looks like the enemy is all over the battlefield over here now. This guy took significant damage, and he's retreating from the battlefield right now. So we're down to one gunship. Our second Bradley platoon is mostly in the area. Our M1 Abrams seem to be bogged down at this moment. It looks like the fast order failed to take hold for some reason. But once they're through, we will see what's going on. All right, the secondary Bradley platoon is not running into too many issues. I did see... This is our main battle tank. So it looks like they're all moving along. We're kind of just dealing with some short... where they're regrouping and they're moving through. It looks like we're missing one fighting vehicle right here. It looks like he got... detached by mistake. Ooh, the Sager team got a vehicle. All right, it looks like our commander was left behind. This is falling apart. We weren't supposed to get bogged down in this street fight. I mean, we have the main objective, so we're going to let that speed through. All right, no damage to that M1 battle tank. It shouldn't. We're going to authorize all the M1s to begin using their main guns if necessary. And at max range. All right, main ones basically through. These guys are stuck right here while that minute ticks down. We're out of gunships. Basically, air support's behind. Command leaders are behind. Everyone's moving together. Lots and lots of smoke filling the battlefield, as you see. Town assault is doing fairly okay. Unfortunately, we did get bogged down in a street fight. I'm trying to get everyone out of here, and it looks like our Bradleys opted to retreat. New enemy has been identified, and he is going to get absolutely shredded, as you see. Looks like it's an infantry squad as well. I can't imagine him being very alive, but he is, very much so. Attempting to pull back. It looks like these Bradleys came all the way back here to realign themselves, so they drove into the town and then came back out. Let's see if everyone makes it through. All right, let's hit fast. Try and get through this village. All right, everyone's kind of moving in unison now. Small little gunfights breaking out all over the village. Looks like we do have one M1 made it all the way through and is engaging these troops. Another troop eliminated, and it looks like this is an infantry platoon on the outskirts of the village. All right, objective secure. They're moving into the tree line. We're attempting to get through. Lots of weird pathing. Another gunfight breaking down where it's not sticking to the roads as much as I would like. All right, for some reason we have one M1 completely off the road. We're basically through. And once we're all the way through and meeting up, all right. So I'm going to call that good. That was absolutely fantastic kind of movement. We did secure the objective. The main goal of the objective was to hold the enemy into position. The enemy is obviously going to recapture it because we're mostly pushing through, and that's not an objective I can have. As far as losses go, we did lose one M1 Bradley, two M1 or M2 Bradleys, three M2 Bradleys. And the consequences of that for M2 Bradleys were they got into position much faster, and we learned a lot of how the pathing system works, especially they pause at each little marker and kind of readjust and regroup, which is interesting. And then they kind of fell apart in this position right here where they started kind of going a bit rogue and driving all over the city. Beyond all of that, we secured the objective. We eliminated a bunch of troops. There were several ATGM teams, heavy machine guns, heavy weapons teams, mortar teams, all kinds of people. The gunship did absolutely phenomenal work. What held us back was kind of releasing this Bradley to go do whatever it wanted. And then obviously our failed spotter for, and it's interesting because now we can actually call in an artillery strike. Nope, it still says no. So we have a spotter here now with a radio, but we don't have one here, which was closer, especially when we could see this general area. So let's see if this takes off. I'm glad to see it mostly worked out in the end. I'm glad to see a lot of our troops made it through. Beyond all of that, it was a good little test to kind of see how the AI performs, how their pathing is, what weapon systems can penetrate the armor. All right, there we go. There's some clusters kind of landing on deck. And so that was actually a danger close. Remember, there's no spotter right here. So these ones are actually off target. These initial clusters look like they're landing around 500 meters off. So if we were to call in that strike over here, it would have been off target as well. So this is kind of aligns with the perspective as well that once we blitz through the town, we kind of saturate it with dual purpose cluster munitions and kind of just lay waste, because we don't really want to destroy a bunch of telephone poles or create a bunch of rubble for us to drive through. Overall, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. It was fun to see how things work. And if you enjoy these types of videos, let me know, because they're kind of fun to make. All right, peace.